ladies.
Goeiemiddag Amsterdam. Dis 'n groot plesier om hier in Amsterdam te wees. We are the Ladies Be Architects. You'll learn more about us throughout this next 40 minutes. Our main mission is to take you all with us on our journey to CTA and to help you be successful. My name is Charlie Prinsloo. I work for SenseCorp and I'm based in the USA, originally from South Africa, that's why I speak Afrikaans. I have 16 certifications and I am on my journey to the CTA. My journey to Amsterdam, however, was a different story. Based in Austin on Sunday, the big Texas tropical storms moved in and my journey was delayed. I had the privilege to have my 10-year-old daughter with me. Are you not seeing slides yet? The slides will come. I had my 10-year-old daughter with me, and it's the first time she's traveling internationally with me alone, and there's no dad and no brother. And we got delayed on Sunday morning. And I thought this is a great time to be a good parent. I'm going to teach her some skills, some life skills on how to handle this. Instead of shouting at the desk agent, I'm going to teach her coping mechanisms. And we came up collectively with a plan to, how did she say, vlog it. So everything that's happening, we'll vlog about it. We'll make little videos and we'll talk it through so we can process it. So we're sitting on the plane and making a video, and we're sitting in the airport terminal and making a video, and we're standing outside and taking a video. I did a whole lot of videos with filters too, you should see them. My master plan was to edit them together after this horrible journey, and then magically they'll go viral online. And then the airline will give me 1 million miles and publicly sort of apologize for my terrific journey, and everything will be good. The next morning when I started looking at the video clips, I decided against it. And I'll tell you in a minute why. But before I get there, I want to tell you another story.
Good.
This is our tweets and photos and stuff from our journey. That's me and my little girl. But I want to tell you another short story. When I was 14 years old, on the 14th of February, I was in a really bad bicycle accident. I had to drive or ride my bicycle to school every morning and back, and I know it's normal here in the Netherlands, but I hated it. It was torture. And that afternoon, I tried something different, and I fell really badly. And I fell with my face on the tar first, and I broke my upper cheekbone on the left side. I both broke my upper jaw, my lower jaw. I had lots of, this is from cooking, not from the accident. I had bad injuries, and I lost all my front teeth. That was probably the worst. That day, after the tests and after they stopped all the bleeding and I was casted out, I was sitting in a wheelchair and they were taking me to my room when a little boy saw me, and he turned around to his mum and he said, "Mama, dis 'n lelike meisie daai." For those of you that don't speak Afrikaans or Dutch, he said, "Mama, that is a really ugly little girl." Those words and that little boy, I will never forget, because it became my internal mantra. Those are the words I hear every day. So when I looked at these videos, I just saw my teeth. Because what happened, as I'm getting older, I'm losing bone. I'm losing all the bone in my top jaw. And my sinus cavities are weird, according to the doctors. And the denture, I have an old person's denture that I put in my glass at night. No, I don't, but I can. And it's moving in my mouth. So my teeth are really badly aligned. And Monday, when I realized this, I started looking at videos of myself over the last 3 years. And I'm noticing I'm speaking differently. I'm moving my face differently. I'm not smiling so much in photos anymore. And if I am, it's like that. And I looked at photos of me when I was younger, when I didn't lose bone, and I had a great smile. But somehow that little voice of that little boy was telling me every day how ugly I am. And when I looked at these videos that was going to go viral, I decided I'm not posting it. Not for 1 minute. Because what I'm thinking of myself is not something I want to show the world. I don't want each one of you to know how bad I look. I mean, you're seeing me here today, and you probably wouldn't have noticed, but that's how big it's become. So I want to show you a quick video of, I just cut together some of our video clips of what we made. And when you look at it, what I'm seeing is what's wrong with me. I don't have makeup on, which is bad enough, but it's the mouth thing. When you view it, you won't see it. But I want you to realize what limits I've placed on myself. Okay, can we shoot the video, please? Do I press play? Oh, I can't press play.
No, you leave it.
Okay. 7:54 p.m. We got on this plane the first time at 12. They told us to get off the plane at about 2. We've been sitting here for another
3 hours.
2 hours so far. So we just got an update from the pilot. What time is it?
It is 8:30.
It's 8:30 p.m. Okay, it is Monday morning.
Yes.
Noon.
Monday
We slept.
morning.
We were delayed. We have been on hold for hours and hours on the phone, but we finally got our flights changed. We're back on a direct flight to Amsterdam. We will be there on Tuesday morning, 10%. And that, guys, is the video that made me realize for the first time in 42 years the limitations I place on myself on a personal level. I mean, standing here today speaking, I speak often, but I realize how much I hate it, how much I'm ashamed to do it. Now, when we look at our journeys to CTA, I started thinking about the limits we put on ourselves there too. And I kind of grouped them together into 3 categories. And the first one is avoidance. I don't have time. I'm a mother of 2 children. I have to get them to school, make sure they do homework. I have a husband that I need to give attention. I have 2 dogs and a lawn. I mean, all of that takes up a whole... And guess what? I've got a full-time job as well. I don't have the time. I don't have the time to go to community events. My work takes up all my time. My children's important. I need to lose weight first. I need to do more Trailhead badges first. These are the things I tell myself. These aren't generalized things. These are things that I'm thinking every single day. And that's the limits I put on myself for my journey to CTA. The second one is imposter syndrome. I am not good enough to be here. I didn't study IT. I didn't study engineering. I don't look like an engineer. I don't speak like an engineer. They won't listen to me anyway. These are things I tell myself every day in my job. And the third one is fear of failure. I took the CTA Review Board exam in August 2018. That is more than a year ago. I haven't been back because of the fear of failure. I love being on Twitter, so everybody's followed my first, and I keep on thinking, I'm going to tell everybody I'm going again, and I'm going to fail again, and what are people going to think about me? I won't be able to handle it. I don't understand everything. I'm not clever enough. I don't understand OAuth. These are the things we tell each other why we can't climb this mountain, right? So I'm going to tell you, or we're going to tell you, how you can get rid of these limitations that we put on ourselves every day.
Thank you, Charlie. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Susana St Germain. I'm a 17-time certified technical architect at Boston Scientific, based in the US, near Boston. And if you know me already, you might be aware that this is one of my favorite quotes of all time. And I believe in it wholeheartedly. But it actually doesn't address what happens after you've identified something as a goal. What do you do next? Once you've seen what you want to achieve, or once you've been inspired to do something, how do you get started? I know that Charlie expressed a lot of the limitations that we can put on ourselves, and really there's an endless number of ways that we can avoid the things that scare us or the things that seem difficult. And we need to start to change and find a way to address how to get started and how to get past those things, how to get over things like avoidance. And I know I hear a lot in the media and the podcasts I listen to and all of the, maybe the self-help books that I read. I hear a lot about changing your mind, about getting your mind right, or free your mind, from our friends in Vogue, for any 80s music fans over there. And for me, I'm a little nerdy, I'm a little skeptical when I hear things like, visualize your success or meditate on what you hope to achieve. But as it turns out, there is a concept, sort of an umbrella, that all of these things fall underneath, called mindset. And there's actually quite a lot of science behind how mindset relates to the results that we see in the world. So we've heard a lot about Salesforce today. So we're going to, for our first example, take us away a little bit from the Salesforce ecosystem and focus on maybe a goal of wanting to get in better physical shape. So in this example, it shows that how you think about yourself or your identity directly relates to the things that you do or your performance. So in our example, if you think of someone that never misses a workout, that is going to influence the actions that you take. You are going to be more likely to wake up for that 5 a.m. fitness class, or more likely not to cancel if you've made a commitment. And it's almost a no-brainer that the things that you do add up and impact the results that you put out into the world. So if you believe that you're the type of person who never misses a workout, you're going to be more likely to say, yes, I can do 100 push-ups in a row. That's something I can achieve. And as a direct result, maybe it'll look like you've lost 10 pounds. Said a different way, the things that we believe, or our values, combined with our mindset, or the way that we think about things, directly relates to what we do. And it's much more than just a direct relation. Our mindset and the things that we feel, our self-esteem, our past experiences, these are all things that are the foundation upon which the results that we get are based. So around 30 years ago, a professor at Stanford University became fascinated by how children respond to failure. Her name was Dr. Carol Dweck, and Dr. Dweck and her colleagues studied more than 1,000 children. And what they observed was pretty interesting. So they went to these children and posed a relatively small challenge, maybe a more challenging problem or a test than normal. And some of these children were absolutely devastated. They said things like, I give up. I can't solve this problem. I'll never understand it. While other children said things that I find a little even more surprising, like, I love a challenge, or practice makes me better. And Dr. Dweck and her colleagues coined two different terms to describe students on either end of the spectrum, one called fixed mindset and the other called growth mindset. And Dr. Dweck also observed that when children believed that they could get smarter, they understood that it took effort to make them stronger at whatever they were pursuing. And because they understood that, they were more likely to put in the time that resulted in higher achievement. So let's dive into fixed mindset and growth mindset a little bit more. Fixed mindset, at its core, someone who has a fixed mindset believes that intelligence is set at birth. So either I'm good at math or I'm not. No matter how hard I try, maybe I'll get a little bit better, but I'll never be good at math. While a person with a growth mindset believes that intelligence ebbs and flows over time, depending on how hard you try, how much effort you put in. And as this Dr. Dweck studied, these things our mindset starts to get influenced at a very early age. In preparing for this talk, actually, I was reading a book I highly recommend called Brave, Not Perfect. It's by Reshma Sanjani, who's a co-founder of Girls Who Code in the US. It's a nonprofit. And Reshma actually described something that I found quite striking. While there is no direct correlation between women and men like women having a fixed mindset and men having growth. There is no direct correlation like that. But what she did find is that when a woman has a fixed mindset, it's actually more detrimental to her than when a man has a fixed mindset. And a lot of that goes into things that Charlie talked about, like imposter syndrome, some of these things that we hear a lot, because if you believe that you don't have the skills, that you're an imposter now, and you can't change that because I have a fixed mindset, I believe I can't change my circumstance, that can start to be very limiting, both professionally and personally. There's not just behavioral science, too, that backs this up. I think it's pretty fascinating. They've done a study where they ask someone with a fixed mindset and then someone with a growth mindset a problem that they get wrong. And they looked at how the different brains responded to processing an error. And what they found was that a person with a growth mindset, when they made an error, their brain scan lights up. It's all red, and their synapses are firing, and they're processing, okay, well, what do I need to do differently now? Where a fixed mindset person, when they make an error, the brain scan is completely green. There's nothing happening. There's no processing going on when they make an error, because they believe that they can't fix it. It's this idea of almost free will from the growth mindset versus a more deterministic outlook on life. And in the book, Brave Not Perfect, Reshma actually describes something that is familiar, maybe more to Americans, but definitely resonated with me. She describes a scene at a playground where there's a young boy and a young girl. When the boy is climbing up the jungle gym and falls down, skins his knee, the parents or maybe adults looking on, they say, you know, brush yourself off, get up, go try it again, don't cry, it's okay, whatever, you know, keep going at it. Where when the girl falls off the jungle gym, the adults rush in and look at her, maybe scrapes and scratches, and say, oh, it's okay, come sit down with me, come sit on the bench, you don't need to do that again, you don't need to try that again. And over time, that really starts to affect the way we think about what's possible for us, how we can change. So I would like for all of us to think about being brave, not thinking about ourselves as people who are perfect, but people who are up for a challenge, people who are not afraid to fail. And one way that we can start to get more comfortable in that sort of uncomfortable feeling is by thinking less about what's called the tyranny of now. So I don't know the answer now. I failed at this today, and it's overwhelming, right? Instead of thinking of what's happening now, tap into the power of yet. I have not yet passed the CTA exam. I have not yet found the correct answer to this problem. And with that power of yet, we can start to understand how we are the only people ourselves that are in control of designing what we want to do with our life, what we want to do with our future career and aspirations. So with that, Amanda.
Hello, everyone. My name is Amanda, and I actually work within digital transformation as a consultant. So we've just heard from Charlie at the beginning about our limitations, the things that stop us from doing and getting those goals that we want. We heard then from Susana about how if we change our mindset, then maybe, just maybe, we have a chance of achieving those things that we want to get. So let's have a little look at that and look at actions about how we can make that happen. Now, these ladies talked about goals, effectively, these things that we want to achieve. But really, a goal without a plan is just a wish. So let's get practical here, and let's get a plan together. Now, first of all, think about your goal itself. What is it that you actually want to achieve? Think deeply about this. What is your need here? What are the benefits you want to get out of it? What is it really that you want? We might turn around as a lady and go, I want to lose weight so I can get into a dress or something. Well, is that really the end goal? Really? Go deeper. Actually, it might not be just the fact that you want to wear a dress. It might be the fact of if I lose the weight, if I wear the dress, the end state is happiness. So understand what it is that's driving you with this goal. And then think about this goal itself, because a goal could be huge, and that's a little bit terrifying. It's so far in the distance that you think, I'm never, ever going to achieve it. And with that, you might stop yourself. Again, it's that limitation. I'll never achieve it, therefore I'm never going to do it. So break it down. And break it down into bite-sized chunks, milestones that you think, if I get to this point, I've got somewhere. I can get to the next point. I can get to the next point. And you're actually getting on that journey. And once you've thought about that and you've thought about how you can break it down, then give your goal air. Start communicating. Tell people this is what you want to achieve in life. And this is your main goal and the why of your goal as well. Because if you give your goal air, then someone else might just hear it. And if they hear it, they might just support you, and they might help you also get to that point. And also, it puts a check on you too. Oh yeah, that is the thing I want. Yeah, okay, better get on with that. So how do you do that then? You can't just say, yeah, great, let's give you some things to work with. So start with a SWOT analysis. Look at your strengths. There might be some things that you can do which are so easy, or, okay, that you think, you know what, to hit this milestone, I can nail this piece nice and easily. But there might be some weaknesses that you think, I need help here. I'm not going to be able to do this part on my own. How can I do this? There might also be some threats, which can also be seen as some obstacles in the way of being able to do this as well. Now, if I turned around to you and said, you know what, my goal in life is to be a basketball player. I know, get me? All right, I'm 5'2" on a good day. And most basketball players tend to be up there, okay? So realistically, is my goal something that I can achieve? So when you start thinking about SMART goals, is this attainable? Do I maybe have to think, is this realistic? Do I have to maybe rethink my goal? Can I actually do this? Am I going to end up disappointed because no one's going to pick me for the team ever? And therefore, So do we then think about a different goal? So look at your SWOT analysis. Look at your SMART objectives. Can you achieve this? Is this realistic? Will this actually make your end state, whatever that end state is it happiness? Will it make it that? Think about it. Break it down, brainstorm everything, put it all to those little pieces. And also, when it comes to a goal, if you don't give it any time, if you don't put any effort into this, it's never going to happen. So give it time. Don't procrastinate by watching Netflix and then turn around and go, oh, I didn't have time to do this. Yes, you did. You just chose to do something else. So give it time. And then, yeah, I see you're smiling. You did that. And also track your progress. Because you'll start and you'll do a little bit. Done it, tick box. It's a wonderful feeling when you can check a box. I've done that task. So keep your progress, track it along. Because there will be those days when you're not really feeling into it. And so if you look back and go, you know what, I've done some of this stuff. I've done this, I've done this. You'll start to feel good again. It might remotivate you again to do the next part. So track it. And then celebrate the successes. For every milestone you achieve, that check box that you get to check, celebrate. Because that will also give you that little buzz. I did it, I nailed it. Keep going, you're on this journey. You can do this. So how do you do this as well? Well, you know what? Don't do it alone. Find somebody who also has a goal. Doesn't have to be the same as yours. That's absolutely fine. But someone who's on a journey as well, who's got a goal that they also want to achieve. Let them be your buddy. Turn around to them and go, this is what I want to do. Bring in the air into that conversation again. And say to them, this is what I want. And there will be days. There will be days, I tell you. Now let's go back to that whole exercise program that we talked about earlier. I mean, just imagine the fact that, you and your buddy have said, you know what, we're gonna lose weight, we're gonna get fit, we're gonna do this. We're going to join an exercise class, but there happened to be that day when it's raining and it's horrible and you want to sit on your sofa and eat cake. This is when you need your buddy. This is when the buddy comes. Come on, we said we're going to do this, you and me, we're going out. We're going to do press-ups in the mud. I'm going to feel great afterwards. You're like, okay, I don't want to go. All right, so you go and you do the class, and at the end of it, you feel amazing. And so you go to the pub afterwards and have a drink and eat cake because you're celebrating that small win. Checkbox, great. Maybe a little bit counterproductive, but go with it. So it's about having a cheerleader, that person on your side, because there are going to be those days when you're just going to go, I can't do it. I'm a failure. There is nothing on this world that is going to make me do this. I cannot. Or I don't know why I'm bothering. And you need them. You need them to turn around to you and go, look what you've done. You've already achieved this stuff. Look at the progress that you've done, all these checkboxes that you've ticked. You know you can do it. All right, go and have a piece of cake, but come on, we're going out afterwards. It's important. Have that buddy. They are your cheerleader. And you know what? Once you've got that motivation, get involved. If your goal is to maybe go and do CTA, then study groups help you. Find other people. And you know, when I talked earlier about those strengths and weaknesses, well, there might be that point where you're weak about one particular subject. So you know what? Other people will help you. Other people might be great at OAuth or OAwful, as we said earlier. They're the ones can show you, I learned this, I've got that, here's my materials, I will share with you. Great, thanks, I'm making progress. But equally, if you have a strength in a particular subject, then share that back. Go to the study group and show it. Because not only are you contributing, you are also showing yourself that you understand this subject area. You have this understanding. You have building confidence in your own abilities that, again, you know this. You can move forward with this. You have the knowledge to share it. So go deeper. Expand your network. Get out into the community and share more. Network with people. Learn how they're doing their things as well. But also go wider. Because when you start to see other people, other communities, not like yourself, maybe not even the subject area or whatever you're doing, but find out how other people approach to solve their problems, because you might just find a different point of view and a different approach to things. Some things that might have been blocking you suddenly become clear. So expand your knowledge capabilities. Read, listen to podcasts, write blogs, share knowledge. It helps to become a better person for you by doing that. But remember, when it comes to a goal, it's yours and it's personal. Don't let another third party take that away or influence what it is that you want to achieve in life. But also don't think that a third party is just going to give you everything to make it happen. If you have that support, that's great. But you know what? If you don't think you can't achieve it. It just might take you that little bit longer. But you will be able to keep going. It's about that self-motivation with your cheerleader in the background going, you rock, or whatever you want them to say. I mean, that's up to you. But remember, it is yours, and you own it. You are your own superhero. So what does this look like now when we put this into practice? Well, here's a video.
In a world where only 5% of certified technical architects are women, where there wasn't a clear path on how to become a Salesforce architect and resources for the domain exams were sparse, one woman created a community group, and soon there were 4. Together, these women will pick up their writing device of choice to smash that 5%. No one thought they could pull it off, but look at what they built.
I want to give a really special shout out to Ryan, who put that video together for us. So thank you so much, Ryan, wherever you are. He's over there. Thank you. So we wanted to talk to you today about how you can actually think about yourself and what your goals are, how you can execute on your goals, how you can decide what you want to do with yourself. And actually the result now is the reason that we've been asked to come and talk to you today. My name's Gemma, and I've been working with Salesforce for 11 years now. And in 2017, I started to work on some exams. And the reason I decided to work on the exams was actually quite a logistical one. I had time on my hands and started working on them. But as I started to get through some of the certifications, I was learning more as an architect, which is my role. And I was becoming much better at what I was doing because of what I was learning. But I didn't really want to do it on my own. My goal was to get better at becoming an architect. But I realized early on that there were other people who wanted to do this, but not necessarily, I didn't know where all the girls were. I said, where are all the girls? Plenty of guys, wonderful experience from the guys as well. And we have plenty of men here in this room who support us regularly and are very much part of our community. But when we started this, it was literally just, I'm going to start a community group. I clicked create group and I posted, and I added I decided to volunteer my time and do a monthly webinar, just looking at a topic like territory management. Many of you here, I think, have seen it. And I had no idea that it was going to actually help people. But the fact that it did has just been an incredible experience and very, very motivating for me. And really, I just look back now and think all I did was start a group. But what that has resulted in is over 1,000 people around the world who join us. And yes, we're called Ladies Be Architects, but that doesn't mean it's just for girls. It's a community that is led by women, but is for everybody, and you don't have to join. You can just participate. Just ask questions, share your stories, share your revision notes. It could be something as simple as that. But the result of planning, as soon as I realized that this was now a thing, we had to start being a bit smarter about how we were going to execute on this. So I asked Charlie to join me. I can't travel to the States every 2 weeks or 3 weeks and do a talk, and there are so many amazing conferences like this one that's popping up all the time. So Charlie jumped on board and helped me spread the word around what we were doing. We asked Susana to join us, and she joined us at Dreamforce, and thank God she did, because, my God, we were so busy. And then we asked Amanda to join us to help us to be more organized. We all have day jobs. As Charlie says, we have day jobs. We have things that we need to do. We have obstacles that have cropped up that prevent us from being as active and contributing and reduce our contribution. Last year, I had a life-changing operation. I had a double mastectomy, and they rebuilt everything in one go. And that was my second attempt to live. And as a result, I think something like that can really change your perspective. You know, all the cliches helps you really realize what you want. But actually, I decided that I wanted to do something meaningful for myself, and the byproduct was that everyone else could come along for the ride as well. And what that has really resulted in is friendship. There are many people in this room that I can genuinely call my friends. We're all connected by one silly piece of technology that is changing businesses and changing the way that people operate and the way that people succeed financially. But the reason we're all here today off our own back is because we have this one common thing that connects us. We have a thirst for knowledge, but we also have an enthusiasm for everything that has been built up and created by the world of Salesforce, the cult of Ohana. But equally, starting Ladies Be Architects has brought me some of the most valuable friendships that I'll ever have in my life. And it's given, and as a result of that as well, Salesforce have been actively involved. We've got friends amongst the actual people who work at Salesforce. Many of you are here today. And that's introduced a platform as well. For our own careers, this got bigger than what we could ever have imagined. And we found ourselves at Trailhead DX 2 weeks ago, helping Salesforce to run an architect's track. It was absolutely insane. But once you have that platform, recognition comes. Susana was recognized last week, or 2 weeks ago at Trailhead DX. She was given the golden hoodie. And Charlie has recently experienced career growth. She's moved into a Salesforce practice lead role. And I learned skills from Amanda because she is an exceptional presenter and public speaker. So all of the things. So actually what we've found is just because one person stood up and built something is actually the byproduct is we take each other along with us, we bring our friendships closer together, we grow our careers, and we learn from each other. We develop our personal brands. We develop our technical eminence. Charlie was very brave and did an OAuth presentation at Trailhead DX. I was like, my God. And it was a roaring success. And actually, Charlie's story around OAuth is that she didn't understand it. So she said, if I don't understand it, I'm going to teach myself to teach it. And then I'll understand it. I don't understand it. Neither do I. And we also celebrate your successes, and we celebrate our own successes. And we also celebrate and learn from our failures. I failed the review board as well. I failed it last month. I passed 2 sections, but I failed it. And Charlie texted me and she was like, never mind, friend, let's do this again. And we pick each other up. And I might fail it again next time. But again, it's all part of what you learn from that experience. But the other thing that we found from getting off our backsides and doing something and getting over ourselves is that has actually given us influence. We think, an influencing factor into the introduction of Ruth, the elephant character that came out a few weeks ago. We'd like to think that. We'll just tell ourselves that. And that's a wonderful feeling as well, seeing that new character come out. It might be something very small, but it's such a big part of our community, all these little furry animals and things that Dominique's team has introduced into the Salesforce brand. But this is not to mention that throughout all of these, throughout the experience of friendship and skills and a new career and influence and a personal brand, nothing can be better than that sense of personal achievement and personal satisfaction, knowing that you've got the power to design your own journey. And that's what I did. I was on a personal journey to CTA, and I realized that what I was doing was no different to what many of the other people were doing. And it became about bringing people together and sharing expertise, sharing friendships, and gaining some personal satisfaction knowing that you've made a difference. So now that I've done that with Susana, Charlie, Amanda, and all of you here who've built something from the ground up, be an example to other people. And if you've got an idea in your head and you're putting it off and thinking, well, how am I going to even go about this? Think back to what Charlie and Susana and Amanda and myself have talked about today, and ask yourself, what will you do? Thank you.
Well done. Well done.
Standing ovation.
Yeah. Very good. Shall we bow, ladies? Shall we bow? 3, 2, 1, let's do it. Come on. Okay. There you go. Smiling. There you go. There we go. Thank you. We're connected.
Sorry, before we do questions, if we want to do questions, I want to ask David Liu to come. Sorry, I'm just crying at the moment. Is David still around?
He's there.
So David has been handing out T-shirts, and we really want one. so we asked David.
Oh, bless you.
We said we would do something. We will actually do something to earn the T-shirts. So David apparently has given us a challenge. So he's going to give us the challenge now, publicly.
Oh.
So my challenge to you three, or you four, should you choose to accept it, I want you to write a tweet from your main, ladies, the architect's account, hashtag growth mindset, and if you can get, so hashtag growth mindset. Start again, okay, I'll start over. So my challenge for you four is to write a tweet from your main architect ladies account, any tweet, hashtag growth mindset, and if you can get 100 likes, then I will give you all T-shirts.
How many people are here?
Ladies, is it challenge accepted?
Challenge accepted.
And if you're not,
So challenge
not following
accepted.
us,
Okay.
tell them what our handle is.
Yay!
Okay. Do we?
I'll go get my phone.
Okay, we'll do that. Okay, we're gonna
Just leave the stage.